Welcome back to the Empowerment Library. In our last episode, we explored the Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle, a timeless guide that showed us how to build wealth the smart way through simple, long-term investing. But money isn't the only resource we need to manage wisely. There's another resource even more valuable, and once it's gone, we can never get it back: time. That's why today, we're diving into Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky. This book isn't about getting more done, it's about making room for what truly matters, cutting through distractions, and designing your days with intention. If you've ever felt like time slips away too fast, this one's for you.
Part 1, Highlight. Choosing what matters most each day. The first part of Make Time introduces a simple but transformative idea. Instead of trying to do everything, deliberately choose one highlight for each day. According to Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky, this single decision creates focus, reduces stress, and brings meaning to your time. The problem with busyness. Most days feel full but unfulfilling. We spend hours answering emails, attending meetings, and checking notifications, yet end the day wondering if anything truly meaningful got done. The issue is that we confuse activity with progress. By trying to respond to everything, we spread our attention too thin. The daily highlight. A highlight is one task, activity, or experience that you intentionally prioritize. It doesn't have to be urgent or career-related. It could be finishing a report, calling a friend, or cooking dinner with family. What matters is that it gives your day a clear point of focus. The authors recommend choosing highlights based on 3 factors. Urgency. What truly needs attention today? Satisfaction. What would make me feel accomplished? Joy. What would make today enjoyable? Even if only one factor applies, it's enough to guide your choice. Making it real. Once chosen, your highlight should be written down and scheduled. Blocking time on your calendar protects it from being lost among smaller tasks. Knapp and Zeratsky suggest aiming for 60 to 90 minutes of focus, though shorter bursts still work. Importantly, stop once you've completed it. Your day has already gained meaning. Why one works best. Focusing on a single highlight may feel restrictive, but it plays to human strengths. We don't excel at multitasking, and spreading effort across too many priorities creates frustration. By narrowing to one, you guarantee progress on something that matters no matter what else happens. Over time, these daily wins accumulate into real fulfillment. Practical tips. The authors suggest: stack rank your life. Know what matters most in this season of life. Choose fresh each morning. Reassess based on current circumstances. Repeat if needed. If something remains important, like writing or exercise, it can be your highlight again and again. Balance factors. Mix urgent tasks with highlights chosen for joy to prevent burnout. The bigger picture. Highlighting isn't about squeezing more into your day. It's about living with intention. Even if distractions or obligations crowd your schedule, completing your highlight ensures that something important got your best attention. It shifts you from reacting to the world toward designing each day with purpose. Conclusion. Part 1 of Make Time shows that meaningful days don't happen by accident. They're created through intentional choices. By selecting and protecting a single highlight, you ensure that your time aligns with what matters most, setting the stage for greater focus, energy, and satisfaction.
Part 2, Laser, Beating Distraction and Finding Focus. After choosing a highlight, the next challenge is giving it your undivided attention. In Part 2, Laser, Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky tackle the modern enemy of productivity: distraction. They argue that focus isn't about having superhuman willpower, it's about shaping your environment so distractions lose their grip and attention naturally flows to what matters. The problem: infinity pools. Modern tools like social media, YouTube, and email act as infinity pools, bottomless sources of entertainment and information designed to keep us hooked. Even a quick check can create a time crater, a small interruption that costs far more in lost focus and recovery time. Without safeguards, these pools drain both time and mental energy. The solution: laser mode. The authors propose entering laser mode, a state of sharp focus where distractions fade into the background. Achieving laser mode isn't about forcing yourself to concentrate harder. Instead, it's about engineering your environment and routines so that focus becomes the easy option. Resetting defaults. One of the most powerful strategies is to reset your relationship with devices. Log out of addictive apps, delete shortcuts from your phone, and silence non-essential notifications. If possible, keep your phone out of sight while working. These small barriers make it less tempting to slip into distraction and easier to stay present with your highlight. Control the starting point. Mornings set the tone for the entire day. If the first action you take is checking email or scrolling news feeds, you immediately enter reaction mode. Instead, the author suggests starting your day by diving straight into your highlight or another intentional activity. By making focus your default opening move, you reclaim control of the day. Design your environment. Your surroundings strongly influence your attention. A cluttered desk, open tabs, or buzzing phone can sabotage focus. Knapp and Zeratsky recommend simplifying your environment. Clear your workspace, keep only the essentials, and set visible reminders of your highlight. The clearer the space, the clearer your mind. Rethinking communication. Another major source of distraction is constant communication. Email and messaging create a false urgency that fragments focus. The solution is to batch communication. Check email only at designated times, avoid instant responses, and don't be afraid to be unreachable for a while. This reduces interruptions and frees time for deep work. Key tactics. Some practical tips include: batch email and messages instead of constant checking. Say no to commitments that don't support your priorities. Add friction to distractions by making them harder to access. Recognize time craters and avoid just-a-minute traps. The bigger picture. Laser mode is not about rejecting technology, it's about using it deliberately. By redesigning defaults and reducing easy access to distractions, you create an environment where focus becomes natural. This doesn't just protect your highlight, it restores your ability to engage deeply with whatever truly matters in your life. Conclusion. Part 2 of Make Time shows that attention is a resource worth guarding. You don't need endless discipline, you need smart design. By reshaping how you start your day, manage communication, and control your environment, you create the conditions for laser mode, ensuring your most meaningful work receives your best focus.
Part 3. Energize. Fueling your body and mind for focus. Even with a clear highlight and distraction-free laser mode, focus can collapse if your body and mind are drained. That's why in Part 3, Energize, Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky emphasize the importance of treating energy as the foundation of productivity. Without it, even the best time management strategies fail. Why energy matters. Our modern lifestyle often pushes us toward exhaustion. Late nights, constant screen use, processed food, and little movement. These habits drain mental clarity and make it harder to sustain focus. The authors argue that instead of relying on caffeine or bursts of motivation, we should proactively build energy through healthier daily choices. Sleep, the non-negotiable. Sleep is the single most effective energy booster. Cutting sleep might add extra hours, but those hours are low quality and reduce both focus and mood. The authors recommend making sleep a top priority. Stick to consistent bedtimes, keep bedrooms dark and cool, and avoid screens late at night. By protecting rest, you protect your capacity to do meaningful work. Food and fuel. Energy is also tied to what we eat. Processed snacks, sugar, and constant grazing create spikes and crashes that sabotage focus. Instead, the book encourages eating real food, fruits, vegetables, protein, and whole grains. Drinking water before coffee, limiting caffeine to mornings, and treating sugar as an occasional indulgence all help maintain stable energy levels. Movement and exercise. Physical activity isn't just about fitness, it sharpens the mind. Even light, consistent exercise like a daily walk improves energy and reduces stress. The authors suggest skipping the all-or-nothing mindset. You don't need heroic workouts, just consistent movement that refreshes both body and brain. The role of environment. Energy isn't only physical, it's also influenced by surroundings. Spending time outdoors, getting natural light, and reducing background noise can all lift mood and alertness. The authors also stress the importance of quiet time, stepping away from digital noise to let the mind recharge. Social energy. Human connection is another overlooked energy source. Spending time with friends, laughing, and sharing experiences restore motivation and joy. While alone time is valuable for focus, balancing it with meaningful relationships keeps you emotionally energized. Small shifts, big results. The goal isn't perfection but intentional adjustments. Replacing one processed snack with fruit, going for a 15-minute walk, or cutting screens an hour before bed can dramatically change how much energy you bring into the day. Each small choice compounds into lasting improvements in focus and well-being. Conclusion. Part 3 of Make Time reframes productivity as an energy game. By prioritizing sleep, eating real food, moving regularly, seeking quiet, and nurturing relationships, you build a sustainable foundation for focus. With more energy, your highlights become easier to achieve, laser mode becomes natural, and life itself feels more fulfilling.
Part 4. Reflect, learning and improving over time. The final part of Make Time shifts from action to reflection. Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky argue that productivity is not a fixed formula, it's a personal experiment. What works brilliantly for one person might not work for another. That's why reflection is essential. It allows you to test, adjust, and refine your system so that it truly fits your life. Why reflection matters. Modern productivity advice often fails because it assumes one-size-fits-all solutions. But life circumstances, energy levels, and personal goals vary widely. Reflection creates a feedback loop. Instead of blindly repeating the same methods, you pause to ask, what worked? What didn't? What should I change? Over time, this iterative process builds a sustainable and customized way of working. The logbook. One simple tool recommended by the authors is a daily logbook. This doesn't need to be complicated. It can be as short as a few notes on what your highlight was, whether you accomplished it, and how you felt. The goal isn't journaling for detail, but capturing enough information to spot patterns. For example, you might notice that exercising in the morning boosts energy for your highlight, or that late-night screen time ruins the next day's focus. These small insights only emerge when you track them consistently. Tracking experiments. The authors treat productivity tactics as experiments. Instead of expecting perfection, they encourage curiosity. Try deleting a distracting app, shifting your highlight to the morning, or setting stricter email boundaries. Then observe the results. Did it help? If not, no problem. Adjust and try something else. This scientific mindset removes the pressure of getting it right, and replaces it with continuous learning. Every failure becomes useful data that guides improvement. Regular reflection. Beyond daily notes, it's also helpful to reflect weekly or monthly. Ask questions like, did I consistently make time for highlights? What energized me most? Where did I lose focus? What small changes would improve next week? This rhythm of reflection ensures you don't drift back into autopilot, but keep moving closer to a life designed around your priorities. Flexibility and growth. Importantly, the authors remind us that seasons of life change. A tactic that works today might not fit tomorrow. Reflection allows you to remain flexible, adjusting your system as your goals, responsibilities, or environment evolve. Instead of clinging to rigid rules, you stay adaptable and resilient. Conclusion. Part 4 of Make Time emphasizes that the journey doesn't end once you've chosen highlights, eliminated distractions, or boosted energy. True progress comes from consistent reflection, tracking what matters, learning from experience, and fine-tuning your approach. With reflection as the final step, productivity becomes less about rigid rules and more about crafting a personal system that grows with you.
Make Time shows us that productivity isn't about cramming more tasks into our schedules. It's about deliberately shaping each day around what truly matters. By choosing a daily highlight, protecting focus, fueling our energy, and reflecting to improve, we can reclaim our time and live with greater purpose. In our next episode, we'll explore Brené Brown's powerful book, The Gifts of Imperfection, which reveals how embracing vulnerability and authenticity can lead to a more meaningful, wholehearted life. Stay tuned and keep building your empowerment library.